Okay, we're live. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm hoping that everything is going well for you. Look at that. Does she need a haircut? Her curls are coming out. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Teresa Marsh. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Newbern, North Carolina, towards the east coast of the United States. And today is September the 12th, 2024. We have some interesting and fun things to do this morning. I'm going to be playing around with some different, excuse me, ticklish nose. Going to be playing around with some different things. Um, I have this example of a card that a lady did named Dawn Griffith, and I'm going to case the card. That's and copy and oh shucks, case, copy and I don't remember. Am I getting a little bit off? I'm getting older, folks, and I keep having things that just don't. I don't remember things sometimes. Copy and selectively edit. There you go. All right, everyone. I'm glad to see you this morning, and I hope that I'll see some of you soon coming in and joining me. I was about 2 minutes late getting online, I think, this morning, but I'm in a kind of a strange place at this point when it comes to timing because my watch has died. I had I have smart watches that depended on a particular program or operating system, and the program that it depended on, the program that it depended on, quit. So while the watches work, they won't they won't um, they won't attach to my watch. They won't what's the word? Pair. There you go. They won't pair with my watch, so I can't even tell what time it is now because they don't know what time it is because they can't pair with my phone. So I'm watchless, and I'm so used to having that right on my wrist that I am having a challenge with getting it all done on the right timing today or the last couple days. Okay, let's take a look at um, let's take a look at the different options that we've got this morning. We are going to be working with the the Sweet Peas Photopolymer stamp set, and you can see here it's just as cute as it can be. It's got little peas in a pod, two peas in a pod, whole family, three of them with birthday things. Welcome, Sweet Pea. Uh, that would probably go with this one. That would make a cute. Would make a cute baby card, wouldn't it? You make me happy. That could be Valentine's or anniversary or just in general. Just in general, I love you. Obviously, happy birthday. That's what we're going to be doing today. And if you've got just one of those folks in your life, you could send them a card that says "Hello, Grumpy," and you know. So this photopolymer stamp set. So we're going to be using our our pad underneath the stamps as we work today. We're going to start out with a basic beige. We're going to start out with a basic beige card base. All right, basic beige cardstock. This is for 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. No, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Scored at 4 1/4 and at 1 1/4. All right. let's see. So the basic beige cardstock scored at 4 1/4 and 1 1/4. And we're going to fold it in and back. All right. And take our bone folder. Have a little bit of a place on that. Okay. Let's do this the other way. I had a place on that corner. This just makes sure that it's well ready for folding. Okay, that's our basic beige cardstock. Next, we're going to take some of the Flowering Zinnias cardstock. And we're going to use this piece, this on one side, and this soft little petal pink polka dot. It's really not a polka dot. It's tiny, tiny flowers. It's tiny, tiny flowers, but you can hardly tell it. You can hardly tell it's there. So, all right. So we're going to use those. We're going to use those two, and they're going to go in that area. Now, there's something else that we need, which is to make a focal point for the front. And I was trying to decide if I wanted circles or rectangles. So I'm going to cut them both and give them a try. This is petal pink. I hope the color on your monitor is better than the color on mine, because right now I'm looking at it and it does not look like it's petal pink. But anyway. Okay, I've got this ready to go. I taped it down. Have you ever tried to get a die on just a piece of paper that's just barely the right size? We're going to see if that works. I may have to recut the larger rectangle. I might not have managed to fit it on entirely. So let's cut our smaller portions, our inside label, if you will. Yeah, we can just call these, I forgot. I have to take this off of here, or it will walk all over the place. There we go. Okay, there's my two shapes. I'm going to back it out because I want to be able to use that piece of paper on the edge. Okay, now let's take our two background back layers. Okay. My goodness, it doesn't like that particular one, does it? Thinks it's too thick, huh? Obviously. All right. Fold this up. This went all the way through. No problem. That was the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Love that thing. I can use it right here on my desk, and don't have to make room for a big one on my desk. So that's something I like. All right, let's see what we have here. Yes, we managed to cut it without having a problem. I did manage to get it right on the edge. How cool is that? All right, so that one. And then the round one. Let's see if I manage to get that one. Yep, it's not missing any pieces either. All right, here in good shape. Okay, let's look at the inners. Okay, this is the stylish shape, guys. I meant to look to make sure that they were still current, but if they're not, you can. I mean, this is a 2.5 or 3-inch circle. That's what you got there, 2.5 and 3 inches on the circles, so you can get a sense of the size there. All right. Okay, so either one of those would work. Let's take a look here. Come back and get our glare stopper. That's what it's there for. So we could either put this, which was my second idea, if you will, or this on the front. Which do you think would be better? I'll have to be honest. I like the round better. I like the way it fills the space better. So we're going to go with the round. Okay. Now we need to get started with some stamping and some coloring. Okay. Since this is a photopolymer stamp set, when we stamp, we want a pad underneath that'll give us some good resilience to come up. We are going to use Memento ink, and on this one, we're going to stamp a couple of the larger fronds. I don't know what else to call it, a frond. Give it time for the ink to sink into the paper. Now we're going to have to fussy cut these, so that's going to slow me down a little bit this morning. I probably should have done that ahead of time, but that's the fronds. Now we're going to stamp our pea pod, and we want it. Whoop, it's not very good coverage. Okay, we want it pretty much to the outside of the circle. Okay, that was on a. Let's see, I had that on a size C block. This one is on a size D block. This is if you only want to have one block, this will be your most useful. The D block is one of my favorite sizes. It just is workable with so many different things. Okay, where do I want this happy birthday? I don't want that straight up and down. So how about I put it right there? Happy birthday. Isn't that cute? Happy birthday. That's so cute. Yeah, I'll cover that up before I put something in it that I don't want to have in it. Okay. Now we get to color. I've got to color both of these. Let's start with, I'm going to use Lemon Lime Twist, Granny Apple Green, and Old Olive on these. All right. So I think I'm going to go Lemon Lime Twist. I wish I could come in closer, but my camera program doesn't do that, this particular camera. Okay, so we're going to do the Lemon Lime Twist for our peas. This is the light lemon lime twist. I probably should have done the granny apple green first because we want that to be basically the shading around this. So let me put the granny apple green around the edges, and I'll go back with the lemon lime twist to blend it better. So this is granny apple green light, and go back again with the lemon lime twist so those colors blend better. It gives it more of a sense of being round when you have a little bit darker there. Okay. And I suppose I should have something on that mouth there. We're going to do petal pink just for grins and giggles. This is lips or petal pink. And since we're going to put a petal pink piece behind this, let's do some of these stripes petal pink. All right. There's that. Now we're going to use the old olive from Pea Pod. Let's go old olive for the pod itself. Sometimes you have to work when you've got something like this that's got so much on it that's going to be green. It's a challenge to figure out, okay, I'm going to make the greens look enough different that they don't just turn into one big blob, right? Okay, that was the light. Now we're going to come in with the dark and just accent some of the curves a little bit. Okay, come back with the light and land. Okay. And I think we're going to do, I don't have it down here. Let's do this. I think we're just going to put a little bit of crumb cake on the stem. With it being so surrounded by, I need the darker one. I'll pull the light and the darker. I love having my supplies right there at the end. I love the look of a desk that's all cleared off and neat. But if I do that too well, then I honestly can't work as well because if it's not in arm's reach, if it's not in arm's reach, I just have a challenge with it. All right, there's that. Now, which way are we going to color these leaves? I think I like the way we did the peas. So let's start with, but let's go a little bit darker. Okay, let's go the dark granny apple green as the shade, if you will. Is my head in the way? Okay. Let's do the dark granny apple green as the shade, the shaded side. And then the dark lemon lime twist can be the blend. And the key when you're blending colors, especially colors that are this different, is to truly saturate the paper. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. These are the alcohol blends. I absolutely love coloring with the alcohol blends because they do blend. That's a pretty defined line where that dark greeny apple green is. But once you put the other color with it, they sort of bleed together a little bit, which is the goal. This is what you want it to do. So now, see how, there we go. See how that blends together? Now, you can see what I was talking about. See, you want to saturate the paper. Look at the back. Definitely saturated, right? Now, here comes the slower part. This is the cut them out. Time to cut them out. This particular set of fronds is not that hard to cut out. You might think it is when you see the little curlicues, but if you just kind of give them a circle to hang out in, they do just fine. It's not too difficult at all. Notice what I'm doing now. I've got I've got a good bit of arthritis in my hands, particularly my thumb and whatnot. So I'm just going to take a circle around that. But see, it's not that difficult if you hold your scissors in one position and then use your other hand to move the paper. Instead of moving the scissors around the item, around the stamp, you move the paper. Okay. Okay, coordination. There we go. So as we move the paper, we are freeing this stamped image from its background. I like to leave a little bit of white around. I think I got too close right there. When we leave a little bit of the white background around it, it just helps pop it out a little bit. It's like we can see it better. All righty. Let's take that little smidgen off. Okay, there's one. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. So I've got less to deal with. So tell me, do you like fussy cutting or do you avoid it whenever you can? I don't mind fussy cutting so much, but I do try to limit the amount that I might have to do in one sitting or whatever, because my hands get tired. I get a little bit, my hands start cramping up a little bit because of the arthritis. I tell you, the adventures of having many birthdays. Birthdays are fun, but after they pile up at a certain level, the fun gets a little less intense sometimes. I don't know. I still like birthdays, even though I'm knocking close on the door 70 years old. I still like birthdays. For one thing, it gives me great reasons to send cards to people. I like to celebrate the day that somebody came into this world. It just seems to be the thing that should be done. We should celebrate the arrival of a new baby and the anniversary of that arrival. Don't you think? There we go. So now we have a couple of fronds to put on our card. Let's see. Something I did before you got here was I took the Petal Park um, punch. What is that called? Let me grab it and look. And punched out some flowers. Okay, I have to stand up and reach that one. Okay. It's Petal Park Builder Punch. It's this one. Sorry. Maybe you can see better on this side. There we go. The Petal Park Builder Punch. And I punched out some flowers. I punched, and I want to use a large one, a medium, and a small one on this. So let's put together our focal point. No, let's put together our card base first. I got one more stamping thing to do. Okay. We're going to use this. We're going to put some background on this card. We're going to go color on color. We're going to use basic beige. And let's use the smaller font. I didn't even get it out. Let's use the smaller font though. Here we go. Okay, this is the basic beige. And the cool thing, let me fold that. The cool thing about color on color is that it can be so subtle as a background, but it can make such a difference. Trying to all right up, but I don't know why I'm going that far over there because it's not going to show when we fold it back, is it? How far is it going to show? Okay, it's going to show. Here we go. Okay, that was the basic beige, and that's color on color. Yeah, color on color. Oops, I didn't get that closed. There we go. Make sure you get those closed. I'll tell you, it's really important to get those closed. We don't want them to dry out, right? I'm going to use a little bit of glue. I said a little bit. There we go. Every now and then it gets away from me. This is the same paper. This is the same paper that Dawn Griffith used on her example here. In fact, this is not even selectively edited. This is turning out to be exactly the same thing she did. But they tell me that imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So credit where credit's due. This is a design from Dawn Griffith. That's pretty simple. Okay. All right. Now let's see what we're going to do with this. going to want these coming from in between there and there. So let's take a look at this. If I center this on the page, that's going to give me okay. That looks pretty centered. It's hard to tell because this makes it off center, but that's okay. Now, I think I will use my thing here. I do make a mess sometimes with glue. Sometimes glue and I just don't get along that well. It gets away from me. Okay, we're going to glue this to the pink circle. And when I need my hands to hold something steady, it tends to not want to. So I often use a reverse tweezer to help me to put something in just the right place. Boy, I made a mess there. See what happens when I get hold of glue? It can be a real messy time. All right, now we're going to put this up on dimensionals. Where are my dimensionals? They are right here, right with the arm break. So go ahead and use some of the larger dimensionals. By gluing it down, I didn't have to fit it in afterwards. I could still, because I glued it to that background piece, I can still see pretty well where things are going to land. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And for placement, we're going to do this. I think I want the happy birthday to be kind of square on there. Be at the top. Okay. This is going pretty well. I'm going to bring my Stampin' Pierce mat in and my 3 different flowers from the Petal Park Builder. And I am going to take my tool here and just punch the middle. See how that made it just curl up? Could have used something smaller there, but I didn't have something smaller. So there's our builder, our petal pink flowers. I'm going to use a glue dot on the back of this medium one to attach it into the middle. There it is. To place it into the middle of the large one. I don't know what I just dropped, but it will keep. Now I'm going to use a glue dot to attach this double bloom right here. and a glue dot to attach this smaller single bloom right here. And if they start to flatten out on you, you can kind of lift them up a little bit to help show that dimension. Okay. Now, one of my favorite things lately is the iridescent faceted gems. I really, really like these. I have some sitting here that were snipped off. So let's put a large one of the large ones. Let's put it in the middle of our big flower. Let's put a small one in the middle of the smaller flower. And let's put another small one up here, just to draw the eye up a bit. Okay. There we go. That's our card for today. Oops, I forgot something. I want to put some white in here. I need a white piece to go in there. Happy birthday. Isn't that cute? That's so cute. I just love that. Oh, what fell was a piece of paper, a piece of white cardstock that I was going to use. Excuse me, that I was going to cut for the inside. And that's going to be 5 1/4 high, but 2 3/4 wide. There we go. And it's going to go right there. Hey, I did a pretty good job there getting those centered, though I didn't know where I was going to center them. Well, just a quick light bit of the multi-purpose glue. And I have a thing about which direction I hold things when I go to glue them in that helps. You do what you need to do so that you end up coordinated as you're trying to do things like that. One of the things, have you ever found you got a little too much glue and it had like a wet looking streak? This is one of the things I've found, that if you have a tendency to do that, come back to that flat piece like that and just slide your bone folder over it. It helps to spread the glue so that it's not lumped up somewhere. All right, so there's your birthday card. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I was talking to my niece, Amy, last night, and I was realizing that, oh, look at that. I didn't really want that white stripe to show. That was my bad. Okay. It has a white stripe. That was not the intention. So now you know. Next time, or when you go to do it again, put this in first, and then put this in. You put the white all the way back so it doesn't show, and then put this strip right up to it. I could, if I wanted to. Never mind. I don't want to. If I was going to do it that way, I would put this pink. This pink should be centered, but this just should have been further in. I don't know, though. Maybe I would do a piece a little bit wider for the back. What do you think? Just put a little piece of this instead of just 1 inch, maybe 1 1/4. Because you're going to have this little bit of, you're going to have this little bit of framing. You're going to have this little bit of framing of border. So if I had moved this or made it bigger, that might have given me better balance. Because if I pull it in closer, then I'll have too big of a border over here. So I probably, next time I do this, I'll probably do, this will be 1 inch, but this will be 1 1/4, maybe. Kind of makes it harder on using your paper the best you can, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to make it look good to you. All right, there's our card for the day. Happy birthday, the iridescent faceted gems. You might have noticed that today that the mini catalog is now live. You can see everything that's in our September through December mini catalog now. You can see the insides online. I don't think I have. No, I don't have it here, but anyway, the mini catalog can be found on our online in my online store, and you see that in the comments. So if you don't have a mini catalog and would like to have one, just drop me a note, assuming you're not working with another demonstrator. If you've got another demonstrator, then ask them. All right. But if you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like to see the mini catalog, you'd like to have a copy of the mini catalog, then drop me a note at Teresa at sassystampingwiththeresa.com. All right. Now this afternoon, I'm planning on, it didn't happen last week, my apologies, but I'm planning on getting this card onto my blog. So go to my blog at sassystampingwiththeresa.com, and on the post that shows this card, make a comment, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win the card. I like to share my homemade things, my handmade things with other folks. Once again, we used the basic beige cardstock for the base. We used petal pink cardstock for the contrast color, if you will. And the stamp set that we used was the Sweet Peas Photopolymer stamp set. The paper, the Designer Series paper, was the Flowering Zinnias Designer Series paper. And I'll tell you, there are some awesome ones. I saw another piece. I'm going to have to do a different color scheme with this, but this paper, can you imagine this paper behind those sweet peas? That'll be so cool. That's the flowery side, but the pattern side. And this also came from the Flowering Zinnias. So I'm going to make one like this. I don't know. Can I get away with, should I put it on basic beige? We'll see. I'll put it on basic beige, or should I put it on lemon lolly? It's really, really light. We'll see. Maybe I'll play with it and put an alternative card on the blog. As in, you can do this with a different color scheme. And here it is. Okay, folks, that's it for today. Remember that there is nothing that you can't do if God called you to it. My even being here is an example of that. So trust Him. Love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.